Hello, today's assignment is on subject-verb agreement. And again, this is a continuation of our Unit 3 Revise and Edit Test Review. What we're going to do today is watch the videos, one is the instructional video on slide 1, and then there is a video on slide 2 on subject-verb agreement. And then read through all of the information for subject-verb agreement on slide 3. Then you need to look at the examples and complete the practice on slides 4 through 14. And then you will submit it into Canvas for complete daily grade. Now, subject-verb agreement. When we talk about that, what is it? It means that subject-verb agreement is when a subject of a sentence is who or what a sentence is about. And the verb of the sentence is the action in the sentence. Now, the subject and the verb must work together to agree. And this makes the sentence sound well written. Now, the number of the subject, singular or plural, is not changed by the words that come between the subject and the verb. For example, one of the eggs is broken. So in this case, one is your subject. Of the eggs is just information telling you about one, and then is broken. Is your verb, and it has to be. So the singular verbs would be is, was, has, does. Plural verbs would be are, were, have, do. You would use am, was, have, do. You would use are, were, have, do. Now, rule number 1, if the noun is singular, then you will add an S to the verb. The girl jumps rope at recess. Now, we have the subject girl and the verb jumps, so you add an S to it. Rule number 2, if the noun is plural, we're talking about 2 or more girls, we say the girls jump rope at recess. There's no S at the end. The exceptions would be I and you, as we were just reading. I and you are both singular subjects. When you use them, you don't add an S to the end of the verb. I jump rope at recess. You jump rope at recess. And we use different verbs over here, just like we said. Now, a singular subject takes a singular verb. The cat drinks milk. A plural subject takes a plural verb. They drive very fast. A compound subject connected by and takes a plural verb. Mom and dad. We're talking about 2 people, so it's plural. Play cards. A compound subject connected by either or neither nor. The verb agrees with the subject closer to it. So it's either my sister or my brother. So this verb has to agree with this subject because it's closest to the verb. So takes. Brother takes me to the stadium. Neither my family nor my friends. So friends would be the subject closest to the verb are. The singular indefinite pronoun as the subject always take a singular verb. So anybody, anyone, everybody, everyone, no one, somebody, someone, something. So everybody loves Saturday nights. So these words are always singular subjects. So what you're going to do is you also want to remember to identify the simple subject and the verb. So when we're looking at this sentence, a jar of frogs sits atop her mantle, a constant reminder of her faded dreams. So we know the complete subject would be a jar of frogs, but we don't want all of that. We just want the simple subject, jar. And we want of frogs as a prepositional phrase, and it has no bearing on what verb you choose. So you have to say a jar, get rid of frogs in your mind, sits atop a mantle. These two have to agree. And if you use the complete subject, a jar of frogs, like we just said, you might be tempted to think that the subject is plural because frogs is plural. However, there's only one jar, which means the subject is singular. Focusing on the simple subject helps you be more precise. For example, our dog is sitting on the grass. 2 dogs are sitting on the grass. So everyone is excited for the weekend. So here are some more examples. Everyone are excited. You won't use that because this is considered one thing. This is considered singular, not plural. So here is the practice that you will do for slides 6 through 13. If the noun is singular, add an S to the verb. That's the rule we're looking at. A can of green beans. So can would be your subject. So you're supposed to highlight your subject. So a can of green beans, and you have to choose sit or sits. A can of green beans. So cans is singular. So you'd have to use the singular form, which would be a can, which means you add an S. So a can of green beans sits on the shelf. What you do for this? You'll go through and do that for the rest of these through 13. And then on 14, you want to do a passage correction. You're going to identify, correct, and highlight the errors in subject-verb agreement. So there are 8 verbs that are used incorrectly. Find them, retype them to make the subject and verb agree. So when you retype them, I also want you to change the color. So I would like to, you can choose the color. I'm going to choose to make mine kind of this hot pink color. So retype them. I has 2 beautiful hound dogs. Well, obviously the subject is I. And I'm going to highlight that. I have. This is incorrect. So I'm going to retype it. I'm going to make it into this nice color, text color. I have 2 beautiful hound dogs. Now you've identified that one. Augie and Cooper is their names. So Augie and Cooper is your subject. So I'm going to highlight that. And is would be wrong. So I'm going to retype it, A-R-E. Let me go ahead and change the text color. Augie and Cooper are their names. So you're going to go through and find the rest of these. When you're finished, turn it in. Thank you.